Good morning. It's 7:04 on this Monday, August 28th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome on Monday morning here in the Cedar City. We welcome you to our program and welcome Don Hamlet to talk about Absolute Kubota. Don, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. The fair is over.
Yay!
And, we're maybe back to normal.
There you go.
I did notice you really had a presence out there with the Kubota.
We did. We had a lot of equipment out there. I was out there yesterday morning at 6 a.m. trying to, get some of the banners and signs and stuff down so one of our guys could get back out there today and start picking everything up. I'm sure the fairgrounds are going to be used for something else this coming weekend. I'm sure there's something going on. So.
There's a horse show or something.
I guarantee there's something going on out there.
Well, Absolute Kubota, there's something going on at 1506 West Main. That's where Don will be in a few minutes, and ready to sell Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, and RTVs, and a host of other things.
That's right. And speaking of a host of other things, it's that time of the year again, where we try to educate our customers in that the fall of the year is the time if you're wanting to plant grass seed or grow more seed or kind of rejuvenate your lawn, this is the time of year to do it. I know we have aerators you can rent there. I saw the other day we had a full pallet of seed parked right by the front door, ready to go. So it is the time of the year to aerate and overseed. Your lawn will have time for the root structure to get down deeper into the soil between now and next year at this time when it's so hot and dry. It'll have time to get a more base going and be healthier for your lawn.
Well, speaking of hot and dry and all this, you realize maybe in Davidson County they had 2 inches of rain Saturday afternoon.
I know,
and we hardly got a drop.
I don't think at my house we got any. I got up one morning, I can't remember, and ran my truck through the car wash. It was getting pretty nasty looking, and I noticed just a while ago when I parked out here that it didn't look like it had rained overnight on it. So
it may have been a little mist, and that's just about it.
I do believe the major dangerous heat is gone. Looks like on the weather app there, looks like toward the middle end of the week we're going to be high in just the low 80s. And fescue and stuff like that, what people grow around in this zone here. It is a cool season's grass, so it's the time to do that. Was in there on Saturday. I know a few people came in and got some bags and stuff. It's a great time to be doing that. We're open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturdays from 8 a.m. until noon. Little housekeeping. Next Monday is a holiday.
Yes.
So we will be closed next Monday. So heads up if you need any maintenance items or you plan on being out doing some bush hogging or anything around your farm next week, swing by Saturday morning or Friday afternoon and get the stuff you need to get that done.
Well, it's good that you mentioned that and kind of plant this in people's minds because we have a tendency to put off, and you don't want to wait too long to get these things you've been talking about. You don't have to do it right now, but you go ahead and get it, and in the next few weeks get this done before cold weather gets.
Oh yeah. You want to get it done before the middle of October for sure, but that is about your end of your planting season for your seeds and the over aerating and the fertilizing and all that. As far as our service department goes, I've stressed all summer that, you can call Clint over there and he can set you up an appointment. Mm-hmm. You don't just have to bring, if you're broke down, you're broke down. You need to go ahead and bring it in, they'll take it in as quickly as they can. But as far as just general maintenance, just call, get an appointment. You can drop it off the day before, probably pick it up the next afternoon or the day after that, get moving through quick. Colin and Gunner over in our parts department, those guys there are, super busy on Saturday over there in the parts counter. I noticed they were lined up over there. And, any of your general maintenance needs, your belts, your blades, your hydraulic fluids, your oil filters, your oil, any of that kind of stuff, they're going to have it over there in stock, ready to go for you. If you need to order some parts, they'll get them ordered for you. They'll give you a call and say they're there. They'll be sitting on the shelf, and we'll call and ready to go whenever you want to swing by and pick them up.
And we might mention your Red Max trimmers and blowers. If
We do.
the ones you have are about to go.
It
still
is.
got more lawnmower.
That's right. There's still a lot of grass cutting to go, but it's also, I was on the course yesterday, noticed that through the dry weather, there's a lot of leaves that have already hit the ground. So, your backpack blowers, your handheld blowers, that season's going to be coming up here pretty quick, for getting your leaves and your lawns cleaned out. So, we've got all that. We got your hedge trimmers. We've got those in stock ready to go. It's going to be about time of the year to get that cleaned up and get another layer of mulch down and get everything spruced up. Some things we don't mention, we've got a trailer full of the pine straw bales. We keep that stuff in stock. So that's very popular. I like it because it doesn't stink like the black mulch and the brown mulches do. I think it stinks myself. That's just personal opinion. So around my patio in the back, I have the pine needles out. It's really good. It's really great at just keeping the weeds down and stuff, and it looks better. So, we keep that in stock. So there's a lot of things going on there, but just swing by and check us out.
And check out the website, www.absolutekubota.com.
That's it.
Everything from
weed eaters to hay balers.
All right. Well, have a great Labor Day, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
That'll work.
All
Thanks.
right. Don Hamlet with Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main in Lebanon. Again, Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, RTVs. 10 minutes after 7 o'clock, I have invited State Representative Clark Boyd to be with us this morning. He is here and ready to go. And Clark, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
It is nice to see you. Nice to have you. And want to get your perspective, your take on what all has been happening in the last week, I guess it's been, for the special session of the legislature. But before we go there, I guess you had time maybe to visit the Wilson County Fair, Tennessee State Fair.
I did. I was in the opening parade, did a couple of ribbon
I remember
cuttings.
seeing you in that parade.
Then
yes.
we went out of town and rushed back on Sunday so that I could work at the Rotary booth. And so I worked probably 8 hours at the Rotary booth on Sunday. Then I was in Nashville all week, but Saturday I did get a chance to go out. Jada and I did both with the kids and ride a few rides and eat some fair food and see some exhibits.
Well, I have the numbers, and we'll real quickly here, and we'll get to your purpose for being here. But the total attendance this year off just under 37,000, but we still had a great fair. 739,315 is the official count, and again, just under 37,000 less than last year, but I think a lot of that can be blamed on the hot weather.
I was about to say it was brutally hot, and I know that a lot of people probably just said it's too hot. I mean, when it's over 100 degrees, I mean, you've got to be drinking water constantly if you're not acclimated to that. So I think that accounts for it.
We don't count the season tickets till the very end, and there were 67,000 of them, which was an increase of 11,000. And the most we ever sold in season tickets was just over 74,000. So 67,000 is pretty close, and it's been a great fair. It's just a little bit too hot there for some people, and I think, again, the numbers reflect that.
Coleman, I do want to say this, though. Years ago when I first moved to Lebanon, someone told me, they said, it is always brutally hot during the Wilson County Fair, but within a week or two after that, as soon as the fair leaves town, you'll have your first cool mornings. You wake up and it'll be 65 degrees or something. So I welcome that along with college football.
All right. Well, actually, college football got started a little bit. Vanderbilt held on to beat Hawaii Saturday night. And I was sweating it for a little bit there, but they intercepted a pass and it was all over. But 35-28, I believe, was the score. And when the Vols start this next weekend.
That's right, here in Nashville.
Yeah, right. Well, let's get to your purpose for being here. The special session of the legislature, and it seems that the House and Senate are quite different in their approach and what's going on. So talk about that, if you will.
Yeah, be glad to. So, when the governor started talking about this months ago, there was almost unanimous support for waiting until January. I can't think of any Republican member of the House or Senate that didn't tell him, Governor, this can wait till January. Let us, whatever it is you want to work on it till January. But this doesn't necessitate an extraordinary session and the funds that go with funding that. And so But I think he had gotten out there far enough that sometimes you just can't back up. You're too publicly supportive of something, and there was just no way to backtrack on it. So he did call the special session. He tightened it up, the wording, in such a way that a lot of the things that he was originally saying he wanted to accomplish, due to the tightness of the call, could not be done. And so there seems to be two different ideologies in the different chambers. And so the House, once we realized that we were going to be called in for a special session, we said, well, what are some things, if we're going to be here, let's be productive. Let's work on mental health reform. We have a mental health crisis in this state. Let's work on that. He also expanded it to human trafficking. Let's do something with human trafficking. And then let's also work on some criminal justice reform. Now, could those things wait till January? Absolutely. But if we're going to be called in, let's do something. Red flag laws were not going to happen. I mean, I don't know any Republicans that were ever going to support a red flag law. And so I think there was a bill proposed by a Democrat that didn't make it out of whatever subcommittee it went through. The Senate took a very contrary opposition to that, and I've got to give them credit. I mean, they said, we don't want to come down there, and if you ask us to come, we're not going to do anything. And so they put their money where their mouth is, and they picked up the three bills that were considered administration bills, which the governor can't file legislation, but it's customary that the majority leaders of both the House and the Senate carry their legislation. So they voted on those three bills, and then they adjourned and went home. And then in the House, we're still bottlenecked in the committees hearing all of these legislations. I think there was over 100 bills that were filed. I think about 30 made it through the committees and are being heard on the House floor. And so we're in the process of going through that. We're going back today to hear the rest of them.
Okay. Well, we take a break here. We come back. We can talk about what we can expect today. State Representative Clark Boyd is with us. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota, where premium brands require premium parts and service. Contact Absolute Kubota's Elite Certified Service Department to schedule an appointment. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Wrapping up an accident. It's going to be north of town on Vietnam Vets westbound and Conference Drive. It's already heavy enough coming through Hendersonville as it is on Vietnam Vets going westbound. They were out there trying to move that stalled car a few minutes ago on 24 westbound at Bell Road. All that's done really is just aggravate that heavy traffic coming in from Rutherford County up to Antioch right now on 24 going westbound. Watch for radar I-40 in parts of Dixon County. Hey, Princess Hot Chicken is catering. Check out that menu today. You can order online at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
I'm Michael Starr, a licensed local insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency in Lebanon, Tennessee. Choosing the right Medicare plan for you can be confusing. Let me help you find a plan that best fits your needs and budget. Call 615-830-4875 to speak with a licensed insurance agent for a free appointment, virtually, by phone, or in person, to review your specific needs and help find a plan that's right for you. Health Markets Insurance Agency Incorporated is licensed in all states and D.C. Service and product availability varies. Agents may be compensated based on enrollment. No obligation to enroll.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Badura Parkway, across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us, and our thanks to State Representative Clark Boyd for taking the time to be with us this morning. Do appreciate this. It does give you an opportunity to let people know your side of things, and what can we expect now that when you go back today?
Well, I do want to mention one thing, because I've had a few people ask me about this, but in the House of Representatives, we have a new issue that we have to contend with. We've got a couple of very unruly members that have no respect for decorum, and we're in uncharted territory. And so we had to come up with a rules package for the special session, which was something that I didn't realize we were going to do. But, last year we had to expel those members. They're back. And one of the things that everyone asked for was we've got to come up with some policies and procedures that are somewhere in between censoring someone and expelling someone. So we came up with some that if you violate the House rules enough, you can be referred to a committee where they can perhaps take you off of a committee for a week, or it's some little minor, punishment to remove you from one. We did that, and we didn't give it a lot of thought, but someone said on the Rules Committee, which it came out of a bipartisan committee, unanimous. One of the recommendations was that we don't allow props or signs. And now we've never allowed members to have those, but they said we really shouldn't have those in the committee room anyways, or in the balcony. I don't think anybody thought anything about it, and everybody said, yeah, and so we voted yes on it. And then it has kind of blown up in our face. There have been some civilians or just some Tennesseans down there sitting in there. They knew they weren't supposed to have signs, but they had them, and of course they were asked to leave. And the optics of that look really bad. And I want to say publicly, in hindsight, that when we reconvene in January, that rule does not need to be in there. If Tennesseans come down there to watch and they want to bring a sign, they need to be allowed to bring a sign. So I want to get that out there. So back to the legislation.
That could involve the First Amendment.
It does, and the courts have already ruled that you can't do that, and so I don't think any of us envisioned that. It was just sort of a quick little, sure, if you don't want props, okay, we can't have them, no one can have them, and then real quick we realized that was a bad idea. Yeah, okay. So I wanted to say that. So like I said, the Senate passed their 3, they're gone. We're still hearing ours today. Now Coleman, I don't really serve. Most of the committees I serve on, especially the one that I chair, was not activated for the special session. So the only bills I've really encountered are the ones that have come through finance and a couple that went through health. So most of these have not even been heard yet. So I'm speaking about bills that I have researched over the weekend with limited time, and so. But a lot of the bills that we've done, one of them. There was a fire alarm, there was tornado alarm, there was things like that at school. And this would require LEAs and schools to sort of come up with a plan for if there were an active shooter. How do you signal, let everyone know that, and how do you keep someone from abusing the fire alarm, someone pulling a fire alarm to get everyone out of the classroom? So that's something that we're working on. Another one here is there are a few schools, I don't know if you heard, Davidson County doesn't have SROs in their elementary schools and don't plan to have SROs in their elementary schools. And there are a few charter schools that are in Davidson County that fall under that as well. And so we've tried to come up with a workaround so that if the chief law enforcement officer, which in our county is the sheriff, but in Wilson County would be, I guess, the chief of police for Nashville, Davidson, if they can coordinate directly with the school to place an officer in there, even if the LEA doesn't want one in there. So that we're trying to do kind of a workaround right there. Those are a couple of things that are being floated right now in committee. We also have a piece of legislation here that would direct state funds to contract for more private services for someone that needs inpatient psychiatric or mental health treatment that is uninsured. I know mental health is a real crisis in this state. Part of it is because insurance companies don't cover it. Most of them don't. And then there are a lot of uninsured, and there's just, frankly, there's a shortage of mental health inpatient facilities. McFarland just closed down here in Lebanon. We're seeing that across the state. Less people want to get involved in that profession. They're not reimbursed very well. And so it's really hard, even if the courts require someone to go get treatment. I mean, where do they go? Sometimes they can't find a bed to put them in. And so we also recognize that if someone tells a mental health professional that they intend to attack or an act of violence against a person or a group of people, we're making sure and requiring the mental health professional to report that information. Where it used to be, I'm sure that a lot of them would just do the right thing, but it was not written into law that they actually did have to report it. So we're making that a requirement. We're seeing a movement toward safe storage and locking guns, and so this would allow the Department of Safety to buy those little gun locks and hand them out. When people go through a handgun training course, they would learn about safe storage of handguns. Another bill would give basically a civil immunity to a person if a gun were stolen out of their car, but they had it safely stored. And so there are little safes that you can buy that you can bolt into your car. And so what this would do, it would not necessarily penalize someone if a gun was stolen out of your car, but it would add an extra layer of protection if you had done the right thing, if you actually did have it safely secured in there. Currently, we do a good job in Wilson County in this judicial district, but as you can imagine, there are 95 counties across the state. In some places they don't, but the clerk of courts in some areas, when someone is mentally adjudicated by the court or someone is convicted, that information doesn't always make it very quickly to the TBI where it goes on the registry to keep that person from being able to buy a handgun. And so what this would do is it would restrict that down to 72 hours. Within 72 hours of the court ruling, that information would have to be sent to the TBI, and we're going to streamline that process. And anytime
It's 3 days.
Yes, anytime we have tried to do things like this in the past, you get pushback because you'll have a county that'll say, well, we have a method that works, we don't have internet or whatever, and it's 2023. I mean, there are electronic ways to get this information done quickly. Like I said, we're doing a good job here, so our judicial district doesn't really have a problem with this, but I've heard some stories about names not matching properly. A Richard is a Rick or something. They send it in, it doesn't match, and the person never ends up on the list. And so this would remedy that situation. Currently, if the state currently pays for someone that is referred a court-ordered mental health evaluation if they are a felon, but we don't pay if it's a misdemeanor. We recognize that in a lot of cases the charges are dropped down to the misdemeanor level, and people probably need to get mentally evaluated. So the state, we used to pay for that years ago. This bill would require us to pay for that mental health evaluation if it was a misdemeanor. It would also, we have another bill here that would require if a child that is 16 years or older, if they steal a gun or commit a burglary, that they can be tried as an adult. And so those are two new crimes that are being added to that section. Another bill that I think is kind of a big deal, and I don't know that this is going to pass, but I think it's important, and that is it would require TennCare and other health insurance providers in the state to provide mental health services and treatment to the same extent that they currently pay for alcohol and drug dependence rehab. And so that is something that's being proposed by the House. I think there is a companion bill, but it's been parked in the Senate. But this is something that I have heard from a lot of people in this district that have children with mental illnesses or just mental health professionals that are like Clark. Right now, this is something that's been largely ignored. People are not admitting that we have a mental health crisis right now. So I've heard this overwhelmingly from people, and I've spoke to groups, and I can just mention the need to expand the number of mental health hospitals, the mental health professionals, anything like that, and you'll almost get just a standing ovation from the audience. I think this is a real crisis in the state.
Are we going to see the state get much more greatly involved in mental health than we've been?
I think we're going to have to. We're starting to see you were seeing these state-owned hospitals close down. I think you're going to start seeing a reversal of that. It's not going to happen overnight. This is a big ship, and it's going to turn slowly. But I think that we're going to have to get back into that business because they're just the reimbursement rate, which is one thing that we are addressing. I think that we're going to see some changes to the reimbursement rate. But there's just these hospitals, private hospitals, they want to do mental health, but I mean, at the end of the day, if there's no money in it for them, it's a business decision, and so these are extraordinary times that we're living in, and so I think that the state is going to have to step up.
Anything though that you pass in the House here, even this week, the Senate's got to rubber stamp. They got to vote it too for it to become law, right?
That's right. That's why I don't think that a lot of these things that I've mentioned are probably going to go anywhere. They may happen in January.
Yeah.
I don't know how this ends. Senator Pody and I get along real well on this. We had a conversation about it, and he said, I don't see us backing off of our 3-bill thing. And I said, well, I'm told we're not backing off our 30-bill thing, and so, but we've got a great working relationship, and so we're not mad at each other about it, but I think that in general, this is a standoff between the House and the Senate. But at some point, leadership in both chambers is going to have to come together and figure out, are we going to pass 10 bills or because some of these things that I've mentioned really do need to happen. And I think that a majority of the Senate, if it's put in front of them, would vote for it.
I'm not asking you to speak for Representative Lynn, but she's one of ours, and I don't have time to have both of you here. Mm-hmm. But is she in somewhat agreement with you think?
I think so too. Yeah, she recognizes and is passionate about changing our stance and being proactive with mental health, as I am, and so I think that she wants to see something done as well.
Well, it's going to be interesting because, again, no matter what you do, how much you do or how little you do, anything you do, the Senate's got to take up. And I do have an idea it may be January before some of this happens.
Yeah. Well, and they don't have to take it up. I mean, so that's what I think that right now, I think when it's in front of them, they will probably be supportive of it. I just think that they've kind of put their stake in the ground and they've said not till January. And so, but some of this, I think there are a few things in here that when our leadership get together and discuss it, they're going to say, you're right. That's something that if we're down here, we need to go ahead and get that taken care of. So I would imagine that will happen. But at this point, this is not a rejection of these ideas in the Senate. It's just a statement, pretty much to the governor that we said we didn't want to come and we're not going to hear anything.
We're out of time, but how long do you think you'll be there?
I'm hoping that we're out of there tomorrow. We're going to be there today. We'll be there tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, but I think we'll be wrapped up by middle of the week. So
it's not going to be a long, drawn-out thing then.
I hope not.
All right. Thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Coleman.
That's part one of Coleman and Company. We've got more, so please keep it here, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. $59.95 up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal. Tire rotation is safety check. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Morning, wrapping up an accident north of town on Vietnam Vets westbound near Conference Drive. Also, we had that crash out in Rutherford County that's had traffic extra slow, 24 westbound at Walden Road. That's really complicated a lot of traffic flow coming in from Murfreesboro towards Nashville. It's increased even more through Dixon County on 40 going eastbound towards Kingston Springs. Watch for radar I-40 out in certain parts of Wilson County this morning. Hey, Nash Painting Services, all of Middle Tennessee, and they do a great job. Check them out at nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
This is Camille Burdine with Ward 3 City Council in Lebanon, and I just want to wish WA&T a happy anniversary. We are so excited you all have been here for 30 years, and we hope to see you for another 30 years.
This is David Walden with Wilson Macon Trust, and we would like to wish WA&T a happy 30th birthday.
This is Larry Tomlinson, and I want to say happy 30th anniversary to WA&T FM 98.9. Happy anniversary.
Exmark builds mowers that deliver a perfect cut in less time. Because we believe what you get out of your lawn, not your mower, is what matters most.
Find signature cut quality, comfort, and reliability. Exmark's Laser Z is the zero-turn more landscape pros trust. Find attractive financing and the Exmark that's right for you at Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main in Lebanon.
Exmark, official mowers of the backyard life.
Join us on Saturday, September 9th for the 20th annual Sherry's Run, 5K run walk to benefit Sherry's Hope. The event starts at 8 a.m. at 623 West Main Street in Lebanon. Come run or walk and give hope to people in our community who are battling cancer. Enjoy a silent auction, live music, and more. Register now at sherrysrun.org and make plans to join us on Saturday, September 9th for the Sherry's Run 5K run walk to benefit Sherry's Hope.
A 30% chance of afternoon showers and storms, warming up to about 85 today. Going to feel much better than we have all of last week. Tonight, a 20% chance of showers and storms, otherwise partly cloudy, down to 65. Sunshine for your Tuesday and a high of 85. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm Stormy Clausen.
We continue on a Monday morning. Thanks for joining us. And let me introduce Billy Mullinax. We're talking about Mount Juliet Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well, too.
Good.
Glad to see you, of course. And here we are at the almost the end of the month.
Almost the end of the month. Yes, sir.
Does that mean your trade-in might be worth a little more this week?
It might be worth just a little bit more from now to Thursday, Coleman.
Mount Juliet Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, located at 600 Pleasant Grove Road in Mount Juliet. Billy, of course, Billy Mullinax is the general manager, and he's with us each Monday to talk about what's going on. And a lot is going on all the time there. You're a busy place.
Well, we are a busy place, Coleman, and that's the way we want it to be. If there's not people there, I'm not real happy. So we are busy and been very blessed, and it's been a good year. And been a great August this year.
Well, we were talking next Monday's Labor Day, and you won't be here, and I won't be.
And you won't be here.
Will you be open that day?
Yes, we will. Our sales department will be open, but now parts and service will be closed.
Right. But it's a good day to sell a car, and you
That's
don't
right.
miss the opportunity.
That's exactly right,
But
Coleman.
that will be in September. You got through Thursday. If you wanted to make an August purchase.
Yep. To make August, it's got to be by
And
Thursday.
I don't know what difference that makes. If you're going to get a little bit better trade-in, though, you might want to come.
That's right.
Thursday.
That's exactly right.
Well, I know we've talked about when there was a scarcity. It seems like there's almost an abundance of new vehicles at Mount Juliet Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Well, there is, Coleman. I wouldn't say an abundance, but you know, we've got
compared to
15 that we had at one time, we've got about 195 right now. So that is not the most we've ever had, but it's getting back closer to that. So yeah, things have loosened up quite a bit. The selection is a lot better, and so you know, people that were looking, say 6-8 months ago, and they just couldn't find what they were looking for. And so, you know, sometimes if you don't have to have something right then, you'll wait and you'll say, well, I'm just going to wait till they come, you know, get a little more plentiful. And well, they're more plentiful now. So it'd be a good time to go back and take a look and see if you can't find what you want.
Well, a good place to start, of course, is that website, because you can see the entire inventory of new and pre-owned cars at MountJulietCDJR.com.
Might even see your neighbor there, Coleman.
We got it in again.
We got it in one more time, but
we've never missed doing that on a Monday, I don't think.
I don't think so. I don't know.
One time,
Mayor Hutto, I think he did tell me one time we missed our neighbor. he listens, and I think one time we did miss our neighbor, Coleman, and he let me know about that.
I had forgotten about that. I know he reminded us one time, and we might have forgotten, maybe not, but anyway. Well, MountJulietCDJR.com, and a lot of people do start there. And you have said so many times, and really better than I can say it, but you go there, you find what you want, you don't have to leave any information, and that's what I like about it. You don't even have to know it. I checked on your website.
That's right. And the good thing, Coleman, we've got a price there.
Yeah.
And so many this day and time, you can't get a price unless you're willing to leave your information with them. And we want you to be able to shop in secrecy if you want to, as much as anybody can be in secret this day and time. But you know, if you don't want anybody to contact you, then you know we're not going to. But if you do want more information, we have people also available that can get more information to you. But you should be able to go on a website and find the price of a vehicle, and you can at our website.
Yeah. Well, I guess we ought to talk a little bit about service. We do most of the time. You do offer service after the sale. Have a great service department.
We do have a great service department, Coleman. They get people in and out pretty efficiently and quickly. And typically we can schedule an appointment for someone, you know, within a week. And so this day and time, that's almost unheard of. A lot of places, and occasionally, you know, we have to so many vehicles this day and time, you have to take them back to the manufacturer because of the computer programming that's involved. And so sometimes if we have a vehicle that we take on trade that we actually have to take to another dealership because it's not our brand, in order to get some programming done on it. And, you know, it's not uncommon for it to be 2 to 4 weeks, Coleman, in order to get that vehicle in. And so we try to be a lot more efficient than that and get people in a timely manner, because we realize that if your vehicle is down, that's a big deal.
Right. Well, we're about out of time here, but the service department closed next Monday, but the sales department will be open.
Yes.
Usual hours, 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Yes, regular time.
Right. Mount Juliet Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram 600 Pleasant Grove Road in Mount Juliet. Over there on the good side next to Walmart Academy Sports.
The easy side, Coleman, on the easy side of Mount Juliet.
All right. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Billy Mullinax, General Manager for Mount Juliet Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We are 20 and a half before the hour. Want to welcome Dory Mitchell, who is one of my guests, who's with us. Dory, good morning.
Good morning.
Whenever you might want to pull that mic just a little bit closer to you there, or get closer one. Whenever we mention Dory Mitchell, most people think of what you do. I think you've made quite a name for yourself over the years. And it is in that regard that you're here this morning, right?
We are, and Michael Etzel's here with me to talk about Leadership Wilson.
Leadership Wilson. How long have you been doing this?
A long time. Coleman, you put me on the spot. I think I started in 2007.
Wow. So we're talking about...
a long time.
About 16 years.
I think this will be my 16th class, yes.
Okay. Well, Michael Etzel.
Good morning, Coleman.
How are you?
Great to see you this morning.
Well, it's nice to see you as well. And how are things going?
Very good, very good.
Good. All right, you have this thing called Dare to Dine. That's what we're going to be talking primarily about this morning. But for those who might wonder what Leadership Wilson's all about, take a minute and just kind of give an overview of what Leadership Wilson is.
Coleman, it's just a great organization that started back in 1994 with Lucy Lee. And it's a way of bringing business leaders together and just forming a bond about the community and learning about the community. Even if you've lived here your whole entire life, it's amazing what you learn when you go through Leadership Wilson. And then you also do group projects that benefit the community. So it's a win for yourself and it's a win for the community also.
Well, I've heard people express they thought they were pretty familiar with how things are and how things work. But once they did that, there was a lot that they explored and learned that they had no idea was even there.
That's correct. Yes, that's true.
Well, as many times as you have done this, you probably know everything.
Well, you would think that I would, but I tell people I learn something every single year, even though I'm repeating it from the last year. We're very fortunate to live in a community and a county where new things are happening all the time, and we're not stale here, so there's always something new and exciting to share with the new class.
Well, Michael Etzel, what's your experience? No doubt you've been through this.
Yes, I'm blessed to sit on the board with Dory and for I think the second term, and went through the 2010 class. And what is fantastic, you not only learn about the community and really how to be a better business person and meet all the connections, but the personal growth that you get out of it also, as far as how to interact with your clients or how to interact with your employees, or in my case, even your family. It really is life-changing. And so it really has been an eye-opening experience. And so I love giving back to it for those reasons.
All right, now you have this thing called Dare to Dine. What is that?
Well, Coleman,
is it a fundraiser?
It is our fundraiser that we do every other year. We do a reverse draw one year, and the next year we do Dare to Dine.
How long has this been going on?
It started in 2006, so a long time.
Yeah, right. Well, what's it all about?
Well, and I'll let Michael jump in too. You sign up to come, and you really don't know where you're going to be assigned for dinner. We've got 7 amazing host homes this year that just prepare an amazing dinner in their home. And then if you sign up to come, we'll send you to a host home. But we have changed the rules a little bit over the years. So if you want to bring a group of friends, we'll put you all at one house. Or if you want to host and invite your own friends, we'll do that too. We try to make it good for anyone that wants to come.
I think maybe flexible might be the word.
We are very flexible, aren't we, Michael?
We're very flexible. You have to be in today's world.
But this has been going on, you said, since 2006. So
Yes.
So you've had some time to adjust, and I guess people change a little bit too. Everybody today might not want to do the same things people were doing when you started this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, when you usually have a deadline and all of this, but first of all, when is Dare to Dine?
I'll let Michael talk.
Yep, Dare to Dine is Saturday, September the 9th. And it's very simple. You just go to the website and sign up, and then usually a few days to a week.
About a week before the event, you'll get an email that tells you all about your host. And also, we do have a surprise each year. We have one dessert home that after everyone dines in their host, then all of the guests show up at one dessert home, and it's always a surprise, and it's a great surprise this year also.
All right. Now, how many people do you have a limit? Is it limited? It is a fundraiser, but is there a limit to how many can be involved?
Well, yes and no. I mean, we'll always make room for a few more, but we try to cap it at about 140.
140 going to have dinner at 7 locations that you pick, and then they all go to one place for dessert.
Yes.
It's great fun. And dinner starts at 6, so from 6 to 8 you have dinner, and then everyone, every person that's invited goes to the dessert house. It's great networking, great way to see your friends and meet a lot of new people. It's a great, especially for people that are new to town.
Yeah.
It's a great way to get introduced to a lot of folks in town.
And I have an idea that even though you try to keep this secret, that the dessert house doesn't always stay secret till...
Well, we'll usually reveal that a couple of weeks before the event. So we're getting close. But the home that we have this year, I'll just give you a few hints. They're business people in the community, and they've got a brand new home. They haven't even moved in it yet. So they're waiting till after Dare to Dine to move in, and it's a fabulous home, and it's located in between Lebanon and Mount Juliet. So for those dining in Mount Juliet and those dining in Lebanon, it'll be very convenient to go to the dessert home.
All right, we got a lot more to find out about all this, especially if somebody is new and interested. But we got to go to a break first. So a break here on Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota, premium brands require premium parts and service. Contact Absolute Kubota's Elite Certified Service Department to schedule an appointment. 449-6171. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Morning, trying to wrap up this wreck in Rutherford County, 24 westbound at Walden Road. All it's done really is just aggravated all that heavy traffic flow that's trying to get out of Murfreesboro, Rutherford County, headed towards Nashville. It's looking a little bit better coming down Vietnam Vets now. That's still heavy from a wreck that was left over there near Conference Drive. Still heavy traffic also on I-40, but it's moving westbound as you come through the Mount Juliet area. Princess Hot Chicken is catering soon. There's going to be 4 locations. Check out their website today. You can order online at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
This is former Sheriff Terry Asher, and we're wishing WANT a happy and wonderful 30th anniversary.
Happy 30th anniversary, WANT, for all your support in the community in news and fabulous music. This is Veronica with Habitat for Humanity.
Hey, it's Larry Stone celebrating 30 years of great radio in Wilson County, covering the news, covering the sports, great music, personalities. So proud of the work being done by the entire team here at WANT. Happy anniversary.
I'm Michael Starr, a licensed local insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency in Lebanon, Tennessee. Choosing the right Medicare plan for you can be confusing. Let me help you find a plan that best fits your needs and budget. Call 615-830-4875 to speak with a licensed insurance agent for a free appointment virtually, by phone, or in person to review your specific needs and help find a plan that's right for you. Health Markets Insurance Agency Incorporated is licensed in all states and D.C. Service and product availability varies. Agents may be compensated based on enrollment. No obligation to enroll.
Coleman company. Thanks for joining us here about 12 minutes before the hour. We continue. Final segment for a Monday morning. But we joined us late. Dory Mitchell and Michael Bass are with us. Leadership Wilson is the subject, I guess, and Dare to Dine is the particular thing we're talking about this morning. Scheduled for September the 9th. And that is when? The Saturday night, right?
It's a Saturday night, yes.
Which is a week from this coming Saturday
Yes,
night.
it is.
So it'll be here before you know it, as we say. And you have host homes and then a dessert home that we've already talked about. And what you're wanting to do now, I guess, is get as many people involved as possible. Get the word out here this morning for those. Maybe there are a few who've never done this that might like to participate. What about the cost of tickets?
The cost is $65 a person, so $130 a couple. But the memories that you make from that is great. And all that is, all that money does go for a good cause. We do this, and it's a lot of work, but the money raised goes to help support the youth division of Leadership Wilson and the Lucy Lee Scholarship Fund. So, Dory, do you have anything else to add about that?
And the Lucy Lee Scholarship Fund is at Cumberland.
Cumberland, that's
and
right.
It's for someone who may have gone through Leadership Wilson, or maybe your children or your grandchildren may have gone through Leadership Wilson. That's who they try to give that scholarship to.
Well, I take it as something you apply for.
Yes,
and
through
you probably
Cumberland.
have a number of people, and the one that whoever decides is most deserving or fits you get one a year, or how do you?
Yes, and Cumberland University handles all of that for us, so we don't actually get to choose who gets the scholarship.
But there's a lot of reasons for Dare to Dine. Then you're supporting some worthy causes here.
Yes, and it's a lot of fun, and it's open to everyone. You don't have to be an alum of Leadership Wilson to come or to host. It's just open to everyone in the community.
Well, you said you have all your hosts, or pretty much have them all ready to do this, right?
Yes, all of our hosts have already signed up, I think, but Michael just said that Coleman might be hosting this year, and we might need to fill his house up.
Now, listen, I don't want to give my wife a heart attack. Don't say that.
All right.
Y'all heard it.
We have our fingers
Y'all heard
crossed.
it out there in the world.
Oh, boy. You're almost embarrassing me here this morning. But you have no doubt a variety of homes, of
Yes.
people who are doing this. And what the meal itself, each one of them is different, too.
They prepared their own meal. Yeah, we don't have any selection we don't select that for them. They prepare whatever they want to at their home.
Well, you said $65 and $130 for a couple.
Correct.
And how many, you mentioned earlier, approximately how many you hope to?
We've got room for about 140, give or take. I mean, we'll always squeeze somebody in if they want to come.
And how full are you at this point? Or
We're
is it
getting
just-
close. I
Oh.
mean, we've got room for about 20, 25 more.
Oh, okay. All right. So you already know it's going to be a success, at least
Yes.
money-wise here. But then this, the Lucy Lee Scholarship is a very important aspect of this
As well as our youth program.
Yeah. Well, again, I guess you have new people every other year when you do this.
Yes.
And you were talking about what a great experience it is. No doubt, especially somebody who's fairly new to the area. You meet a lot of people they haven't had an opportunity to before. You wanna add to that? You've seen this quite a bit, Michael, yourself.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is just go to leadershipwilson.com, where you can sign up and you can get a lot more information. But September the 9th is coming up quick, but it's a great fundraiser. It's a great way to have fun with people that you may not have seen for a while, because we all do gather at the dessert house. So
I've got an idea. Okay. Since we haven't exposed the dessert house yet, maybe we should have the dessert at Coleman's house.
I tell you what I think we ought to do. I think we ought to get the lady in the hall to come in here. I'll I'll bet she's been to Dare to Die.
Just a couple of times. Yes.
Susie, would you come in here and join us? I was. This is totally unexpected, and it's so good to see Susie James this morning because she has had surgery, successful hip joint replacement, I guess.
Yes,
yes. And of course, you know these.
I do know these
my
people.
guests here.
I do know these people.
You know Dory and Michael.
I have been through Leadership Wilson. I was in the second class. I've hosted Dare to Dine several
Best class
times.
ever.
You know, we really weren't. But anyway, I have served on the board. I already have my tickets for Dare to Dine this year. So, yes, this is a wonderful program.
Well,
Great friends.
It's so great to see you.
Thank you. I feel like I need one of those little signs that says it's my first day back to work. You know, like everybody's going back to school, my first day. Now, I have been working for 3 weeks from my home office in the kitchen, but yeah, you sounded good. Carry on, Coleman.
No basic problems. You've made it through the surgery. You recuperating. All I see so far is a walking cane over here.
Yes,
A little assistance.
I don't have to have that, but I tend to still limp just a little bit, and with that in my hand, I can keep people away too. And
Well, since you have been so involved with Leadership Wilson and Dare to Dine, you can help encourage others to get their tickets or and the surprise dessert thing. That's something too.
Oh, that's always fun.
At Coleman's house.
Yeah, we're going to, surprise. Oh, we should call Helen. Yeah, it's at your house.
Might want to let Helen know.
It is fun. When you arrive, it's always a beautiful home, and I do not know where it is this year. It doesn't make any difference. It'll be fabulous. I did hear you describe this. But what you'll go in and say, Michael, now where did you eat, and what did y'all have, and who else was there? And Dory tries to make a lot of the runs around to the homes just prior to the event. They're spread out a little bit, so it's hard for her to get everywhere. But
so you're actually working that night a little bit.
Yes, I'll be at the dessert home this year. Deanna Dodd and I are helping her and them, and we'll have it ready when everybody arrives.
All right, what's the easiest way to get tickets? We've talked all about all the whole thing. We've talked about the price being $65 per ticket, $130 for a couple. But what's the easiest way to get tickets?
Just go to leadershipwilson.com. That's the easiest. One or two little clicks, and you can pay right there online. And
Internet has changed everything, hasn't it? But it is so easy to do, usually with a credit card or debit card.
Yes.
Yep.
That's almost a requirement anymore.
Yes.
But if you can do that, if you can negotiate the computer to go to leadershipwilson.com, leadershipwilson.com, and follow the directions and get it right there before they all run out.
Yeah, and I have a shout out this morning. Today is Debbie Fouch's birthday, so I'd like to wish her a happy birthday.
Debbie Fouch. All right, that's great. Well, we got about 3 minutes. What have we left out? Anything? We've covered it all.
you did speak to projects. I think I was coming in the door when you were talking about a few of them, and you would be assigned a project or choose a project. And I will just brag just a minute that my project back in 1995-6 class, I believe is what I was bringing the SRO officers here to Wilson County. They had just started or were about to be implemented in Rutherford County and another county, and we went as a group over there and took some of their research, brought it back to Sheriff Terry Ash. Of course, he was going to make it happen anyway, but we did help bring him some more information from some other areas. So I've always been real proud of that, and so many other organizations that have sprung from those projects, if you were to sit and list them, and again, you may have when I was coming in the door, but it's just amazing what has come from this in so many years.
Well, through Leadership Wilson, people kind of put their heads together and come up with ideas and a lot of them have been good ideas that have been implemented and that we are benefiting from. And so it needs to keep on.
Yes, it does.
Well, that's great to know. And anything you want to add to that, Michael Edsel? You've been around leadership a long time yourself.
It's getting to look like that now after all these years. 2010. No, just the Dare to Dine is just a great fundraiser. It's all about giving back, and that's really what the hearts of a lot of these business owners want to do for the community. And it's just a good way to give back and to reconnect with all of your friends and different people that you haven't seen. For me, 2010 was a long time ago. So for me to see a lot of my classmates will be very exciting.
Yeah. All right. Well, we in our last minute here, Susie, thanks for coming in here. It's good to see you.
Yes, good to see you. And I brought the payroll, so I'm going to be real popular today.
Tori Mitchell, thanks for the great job you're doing with Leadership Wilson. And Michael Edsel, we appreciate you being here. And again, if you want to attend Dare to Dine, go to leadershipwilson.com. You can reserve there, pay there, and then show up on Saturday, September 9th for the place that you're supposed to dine, and then everybody gathers together to eat dessert at one other location. That's pretty much it, right?
Thanks. Sounds great. Thank you, Coleman.
Well, thank you, Dory, for being with us. Michael, good to see you. Thanks
Always
for
great
being
to see
here.
you.
And Susie, again, great
Good
to see you.
Good to see you as well.
That's that is Coleman and Company for this Monday. Join us tomorrow if you will. Till then, I wish you a magnificent day.